The point of discussion for this presentation is if a dependent pass holder owns a company, firm, or a sole proprietorship, then can he or she apply for the letter of consent to act as a director or manager of that entity? Can the owner of a very small business, example in case of a sole proprietorship firm, apply for the LOC? So let's have a look on this point. And the first question is about owning a company. So here we are referring to two things: owning a company or a firm and managing a company or a firm. So let's first understand the rules regarding owning a company or a firm. So dependent pass holders can own shares in any company in Singapore because this is considered as an investing activity. And similarly, dependent pass holders can become owners of a sole proprietorship or invest in a sole proprietorship. Investing activities are not barred in Ministry of Manpower rules. So you don't need a separate visa or separate approval from MOM. However, what dependent holders are not allowed to do is to work for that company or for that sole proprietorship, because dependent pass does not include working rights. And if you start acting as a director of a company or acting as a manager of the sole proprietorship, then that is considered as a form of work, and that is what is not allowed. So obviously the next question is, then can they apply for LOC? Because LOC is simpler to get compared to employment pass. So can they get LOC and work as a director or the manager of the sole proprietorship? So let's move on to the next slide and let's understand what was the situation till few years back. So till few years back, dependent pass holder could set up a small sole proprietorship in Singapore. They could apply LOC under the sole proprietorship, and then they could work for that sole proprietorship and manage its affairs. This was essentially, it was so long as it was a one person show. So we are talking of a very small sole proprietorship company. So typically very small businesses like cake and bakery shop, home cooking, small handicraft businesses, small consulting businesses, small freelance work, all this was allowed under this. However, when we think of the current status as of 2020, the regulations are stricter now. You cannot act as a director of a company with letter of consent. So if you want to act as a director of a company, you cannot be on a dependent pass. You must be on an employment pass, or you are a permanent resident, or you are a Singapore citizen. And similarly, you cannot act as a manager of a sole proprietorship on Accra records with LOC while on dependent pass. So again, you need to be on employment pass, permanent residency, or Singapore citizenship. So these are the rules currently in force. And this essentially means you need to get a Singapore permanent resident or a Singapore citizen as a business partner involved in this business, or the alternative option is to apply for your own EP under this company or sole proprietorship. However, when you decide to apply for EP, as you know, the criteria is stricter, so the salary requirements, educational background, and work experience has to be there. So in summary, the rules regarding use of LOC for director and key manager of the sole proprietorship on Accra records have changed. So you need to plan your activities accordingly. Either you need to get a Singaporean partner or need to go for a more official route of employment path.
Thank you for watching this video. This video was brought to you by Epica Consulting Singapore. Subscribe to our channel today to get notified when new videos are posted.